Hello everyone, very good evening. I'm Leela from ExcelR Solutions and I welcome you all to this session, and we are very delighted to have you here along with us this EDL program. And before we get into the session, we have our MOU team manager, Mr. Irfan with us. He'll be letting you know who we are and why we are conducting these EDL programs. Okay, yeah. Hi Irfan.
Yeah, hi Leela.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hi guys. I hope I'm audible, Leela.
Yes, Irfan, you are pretty clear.
Yeah. So hi guys. I welcome you all to the hands-on training program, that is application-based program on Advanced Excel, PowerPoint, and Word, day 1. And I'm very much delighted to inform you that we are almost full capacity on the Zoom, and henceforth anyone who would be joining the session has to attend the session on YouTube as well, because we are live on YouTube also. So if at all you get disconnected in between due to any reason, you may continue via YouTube. If you are not able to get into the Zoom session, then you can use the other option, that is YouTube Live. So it's a great, and I would like to thank all of you to have or give us such a splendid response to our registration link. And we promise you that for the next 15 days, we will be having wonderful learning journey guide on this said program. So before let me go for the session, or let me go inside the session, I would like to tell you something about ExcelR and what is EDL, that is what is everyday learning all about. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Yeah, Amar?
Yes, sir.
Can you help me out?
Your screen is not visible.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get into Zoom. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I hope my PPT is visible.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, we have one vertical called EDL, that is everyday learning. And we are providing free of cost training under this vertical to the students, faculties, and colleges. So basically, let me tell you something about ExcelR. ExcelR started in 2014 by some alumni of IIM and ISB. And this is the training and consulting company. And we have a headquarters in USA, Houston. Then we have other branches in overseas like Australia, Malaysia, Dubai, UAE. So we have the other locations also. In India, we are operating at 5 locations. Our corporate office in Bangalore, then Hyderabad, then Mumbai, Andheri, and Thane, and Pune. So basically, we are in the training and consulting kind of thing, and we are providing some training on some training technologies like data science, machine learning, cloud computing, project management, artificial intelligence. So total 31 above domains are there which we are providing the training on, basically. So, and these are our industry partners. We are associated with these industry giants in the market. As well as we have some well-known academic partners like Skill AP, then Task, So you can see on the screen. Then we have also associated with the Germany-based university, Sinbi's University. So the good academic partners we have been associated with. After that, let me tell you something about EDL, that is everyday learning. So as I said, we are providing free of cost training to the MOU colleges. So as per my knowledge, or as per my our backend team information, for this program, we have got 1,300 faculty registrations and 22,000 and above students registration for this program. So I'm very much thankful to all of you that you believe in us, you believe in our training, and you registered for this program. So basically, under this program, we are providing application-oriented training for the students and faculty. Then hands-on training on some, as I said, some trending technologies. Then we are also helping to the colleges for fulfilling a few of the NAC and NBA requirements. So it's my kind request to all the faculties who are attending this session. If you are not associated or if you are not MOU with ExcelR, then you can contact to our regional MOU coordinators, means from Bangalore, from Hyderabad, from Maharashtra. So end of the this explanation, I will display some numbers, so you can the faculties. I'm requesting to faculties that you can directly contact to these coordinators. Our coordinators will get in touch with you, will contact you for the further process. So these are the EDL offerings. Means if you have a MOU with our EDL, means with ExcelR, then we are providing this. We have these offerings for MOU colleges. So industry MOU, then industry webinars are there. Then industry FDPs like SDP and FDPs are there. Then guys, all you are attending this session. Some of them are already has got the LMS access or a dashboard. That LMS access is for lifetime, guys, so that whenever you come to have some go for the interview after 2 years, 3 years, then you can log into your LMS dashboard and you can watch that recording. So the access is for lifetime. Then professional training, then assignments and assessments are there. Means whenever you are attending these sessions, you will get assignments in your dashboard. You can take those assignments and you can submit those assignments to the ExcelR assignments team. Then next is we are also providing, I mean, we are open to provide you the projects that the data sets and the project, the live, just a second. Okay, guys. So sorry for inconvenience. Am I audible, Amar?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So we are also providing the internship. The concept for the internship is something like some different concept. So I request to non-MOU faculties, means colleges, non-MOU colleges faculty, that please contact to our college MOU coordinators, and they will explain you the further process about the internship and projects. Yeah, placement preparations. We are also providing under this EDL some placement preparations, like how to make a LinkedIn profile, then how to some soft skills are there, some soft skill training is there. So these are the total offerings under the EDL. So sessions will be conducted by industry experts. We have a pool of industry experts in ExcelR. Some internal and external different industry experts are there, which we are means in the coming sessions or in the coming programs, they are conducting these sessions. So assignments and learning materials will be shared. Session-wise feedbacks and attendance will be collected. So for MOU colleges, we are also providing the attendance basically. So you don't bother about it that if you are from MOU colleges, then we will provide you the attendance on weekly basis to your colleges. Yeah, and having 60% and above attendance, you will get a certificate of participation from ExcelR. So these are some offerings under this EDL training. And after that, there is the LMS. So Leela will explain you how to access our LMS. A very wonderful and beautiful LMS learning management system we have. So Leela will explain you throughout the process how to log in to that LMS and how to attend the live sessions and how to watch the previous recordings and further recordings to that LMS access. So this is all about from my side under this EDL. Thank you so much. Over to Leela.
Thank you, Irfan. Hello, everyone. I hope my voice is audible to you all clearly. Yeah, can anybody confirm me?
Yes, your voice is audible.
Yes. Thanks for the confirmation, team. So I'm basically from LMS team. I'm here to give you an overview how we do assist you in this program, like how you can all access our LMS dashboard. Like you may be thinking how you can access the recordings, how to join the session, where you will be finding materials and assignments and so on, right? So I'll be sharing you my screen and letting you know all these things clearly. And in case if you have any queries, please put it in the chat window. We will be letting you know. Okay. So yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you all clearly.
Yeah.
Yes. So team, as soon as you register for this particular EDL program, you would have received an email from ExcelR. So saying that welcome to ExcelR/verify your account. So in this email, if you clearly observe, so you will be finding a link to set your password and also to verify your account. And do not worry, many of you would already have received it earlier when you have registered for the previous program. Okay, and also you may be facing few technical issues when you click on this link. Maybe it is expired or something else. Okay, do not worry, I'll let you know the alternative way for it as well. Okay, so after receiving this email, those you are new to this program and those you are trying to set your password, so you can follow these steps. You can click on this link provided to you in the mail ID and you can set the password. Okay, I'll let you know how it is going to be. And once you set up your password, you can actually log in into the dashboard using the URL https://onlinelearning.excelr.com. Okay, and as soon as we give you the course access, you would have received second email from us saying welcome to the application based training on advanced Excel, Power BI and Word. This is the mail which will let you know that you have your course access. Okay, so I'll show you practically how you can access the dashboard and all. So team, you can use any of the browser and search onlinelearning.excelr.com. Okay, so it is just loading. Just give me a second. Team, just give me a second. Team, just give me a second. It is taking some time to load the content. So, team, meanwhile, I'll let you know through PPT also, if you can type onlinelearning.excelr.com in web browser, you will be able to see a dashboard appearing like this. Okay, so this kind of appear like dashboard will see in your web browser. So here there are three options. One is sign in, second store and register. Do not do anything with store and register. The only one option you need to click on is sign in. So as soon as you click on sign in, you will be able to enter your registered email ID and the password which you have set using the mail which you received earlier. Okay, so in this dialog box, you are able to enter two things. One is your registered email ID and password. So here is an instruction to you all. Please try entering your registered email ID only without any type errors. Do not try to register with for mobile number. It is an alternative way, but majorly we request you to try with your registered email ID and you can set your password. So as I mentioned earlier, if you face any difficulty to verify your account by any chance, you can click here forgot your password and you can set your password and get your account verified. Okay, this is the alternative way. Okay, as soon as you enter into the dashboard, okay team, so please ignore about the content here as we have few traffic at our admin side. We are unable to load the dashboard, but anyhow I can let you know the ways where you can find all the things. Okay, so as soon as I enter into the dashboard, after giving your login credentials, you will see a home tab in your dashboard. So under home tab, whatever the classroom's access you have, you will be seeing. Okay, suppose this program name is Advanced Excel, PowerPoint and Word, right? So in your dashboard, you will be seeing that course access under your home tab. And you can use this right arrow, this right side arrow. If you can click onto it, you will be able to get into the classroom and access all the available folders. Okay, and coming to the session joining, there are three ways we will let you know. The very first thing is, whenever you log in into your dashboard, under today's session tab, you will see a login option or you will see a join button appearing on your screen. Suppose this session is scheduled for 7 to 9 p.m. every weekday, right? So we scheduled it for 6:45 only. So before 50 minutes, you can visit the dashboard and you can click on this join button every day. So you will be able to join the session and it will redirect you to the Zoom application. This is the first way. If you face any difficulties to log in into the Zoom account, by any chance the limit is reached, then you can join through YouTube. Our ExcelR's YouTube channel, you can watch the live happening. That is second way. Third way is, so if you observe here, we have perfectly aligned all the tabs. So in this curriculum, once you log in, once you go to this classroom by clicking on right blue arrow, then you will see two options. One is curriculum and the second one is meet. So under curriculum tab, you will see all the folders available. Okay, so under recorded sessions, if you click over there, every day, whatever the live session is happening, you will be able to see over there. If you are unable to join the Zoom link, you can go to YouTube channel and watch the live session happening. That is second way. And the third way is under curriculum, you can come to recorded sessions tab and day-wise title will be visible to you. If you click on that, you can watch the live session happening again here. Okay, this is how you will see the live happening. And these folders will help you to refer in future as well. These are recorded sessions and every day at time, you will actually watch it as live also. Okay, suppose this is live today and tomorrow you will refer it as a recording. So every day the sessions will be embedded here. If you are unable to join Zoom or YouTube, you can still view the sessions in LMS which is happening live. And also you refer it as recorded sessions. This is all about recorded sessions and live sessions to join it. And coming to the materials. So you will see a tab called materials where we uploaded all the materials. Suppose today topic is done. So whatever been taught to you in the session, we will upload those materials for your reference purpose. You can view the reference recorded materials. And also if there are any practice files for you to practice, we will upload those in this materials tab only topic wise. You can download them and practice by your own. And once the program is done, under assignment tab, we will upload assignments also. You can download those assignments and practice by your own. And team, above all, like all these folders, you will see a tab called attendance submission. So there you will see a Google form link available. So every day at 8:30 to 9:30, the link will be active. So we all request you to give your response over there, because for this entire program, we will be capturing your attendance by considering those responses we receive from your side. So if you acquire 60% of the attendance of this program, we will be giving you participation certificate for this particular EDL program. Okay, that particular program certificate will be distributed to you within 7 to 10 working days after the program is completed. Okay, so you are supposed to give your response daily at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. and that link will be shared to you in the Zoom and YouTube chat as well. And in LMS, you will see it in attendance submission folder. Okay, so in case of any questions or queries, you can reach out to us at edl@excelr.com. Our team will let you know and get your queries solved. Okay, so any concerns, team? Suppose if you have not enrolled for the program, our team will send you the registration link in the chat window. So go through it, fill your required details and register for this program. And tomorrow you will be receiving the classroom access. Okay. Yes. So team, that is all for today, and tomorrow also we will be letting you know how you can access LMS again. So if in case of any queries, you can drop an email to us, edl@excelr.com. And regarding the last program certificate, we will be sharing you through your mail ID, registered mail ID in this week. Okay, so kindly wait for the same. And thank you. We wish you very all the best and have a great learning ahead with ExcelR solutions. Thank you. And thank Nadim. Hi, Nadeem.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you, and over to you.
Thanks, Leela. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining in. It's been a great opportunity for me to deal with about 2,000 plus participants in one class. It's an accomplishment throughout my lifetime so far. Talking a little bit about Nadeem. I am from Bangalore, working for about 15 years in multiple corporate sectors, been associated into telecom, transportation, recruitment, and some more. So my educational qualification, basically, I'm a commerce. Uh, I'm a commerce student. You can call me a graduate on commerce. And then what attracted to me was like more of data is something that keeps me going, and I'm pretty sure that throughout the journey, whatever we learn here, you will also feel that yes, data is something that needs to come and go, and it's going to go on throughout the flow. Now there are about 1,600 participants on YouTube and about 100 or 100,000 or 1,000 participants on Zoom. There seems to be slight conflict between the way I am speaking here versus what is available on Zoom. So if there is any delay in response to your comment, please cooperate. We will, or I will try my best to ensure that your questions are being answered. Primarily a small request to YouTubers, whoever are following, I request you to stop texting information about your college attendance unless it has been asked. Uh, let's keep this window available for your questions so that we can answer them. So let's talk a little bit about my journey with ExcelR Solution. ExcelR Solution doing a phenomenal job in terms of organizing this session. I must thank them and appreciate that this is a very deserved or requirement in the near future as well to all the youth across all the institutes. I see a lot of students coming in from colleges, which is a very good thing, and it's a right platform for you to learn about data. So I'm being associated with Microsoft Excel, especially for about 12 years. I've been working with Excel. Time and again, I have seen versions changing after that, one after the other. Between this, it's a lot of learning, but to be going back to the drawing board from the day it started, the Excel look-wise, it must have changed, but the grids, whatever you see, the boxes continue to remain as is. And the concepts or the fundamentals of Excel remains unchanged. However, there are improvements, betterments done only to ensure that the user experience is made better. Now, to begin with, what is there for you today is that we'll be talking about what Excel is, what does an Excel sheet means, and what are the uses of it, why do we use it, and a little bit about how do we use it. Now, how do we use it as a notion? It's like as good as Nadeem spending 12 years could not really learn, I can say 50% of it. And then what about the rest 50%? It's an ocean, and it's on and on and on. I can definitely give you a platform, start, or give you a foundation how to begin with. Now, this will definitely help you to ensure or to make you aware how to start with or which direction you need to move ahead. So to start with, I would need a little bit of participation, but like I requested, the comments on the YouTube is just on, so I'm not able to really pick up if there are any questions from anybody. So if you can please pass posting comments on YouTube, that will be of great help. So there's a very nice question that somebody is asking me, what is my income? I wish I could have shared with you. So otherwise, I'm a freelancer with ExcelR. Like I said, that it's a very great platform for me to uh, share my expertise in terms of what Excel is, in terms of my income. That's phenomenal, be it my full-time job as well as my freelancing profession. Now, let us switch to the agenda, but like I requested YouTube, can we please hold on posting comments, please? I don't know. Okay, so let's begin. Good evening, sir. Can you define what is freelancer? Freelancer is somebody who takes up courses, takes up jobs over and above what he does full time, right? So I'm not a permanent employee to ExcelR. Instead, I do it on my available time. So I'm sharing my screen. Folks who are on Zoom can just drop a text. Yes, you can see. One or two are more than enough for me to conclude that yes, you can see my screen. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. You can hold the comments. Let's keep it limited so that I don't miss out your real questions. On Zoom, I doubt that we can allow more than 1,000 participants. So yes, on YouTube we can. Let's get back to the topic. So we said that we are going to talk about Excel today. Now, what you see on my screen is a basic workbook. Now, how to start this program, I'm sure everybody is so far aware of how to open an Excel system or a Excel application. So to begin with, generally, how do you search for it is you go to your start program and look for Excel, or you go to run. I'm just hitting some shortcuts. I pressed Windows R and I type Excel. It picks up the program and opens the white workbook, which is having a lot of information on the top and some grid lines having blocks containing alphabets on the top and numbers on the rows. Now, what this is something new to somebody and quite familiar to some of them. Now, this session, we are going to talk about Karthik, start from starting. I couldn't get that. Nothing is visible. Okay. Can somebody drop a text if you can see my screen over Zoom? Visible, great. Thanks, you can stop that. Right, so I was talking about how to start the Excel program itself. One, if you're using a Windows or a Mac, just go to start or the home icon in your MacBook. Just go to start, look for the program Excel. It is available, or use the search option. Or alternatively, go to Windows R. If you're familiar with Windows, type Excel here and hit enter or click OK. You will be able to see a workbook which is coming in like this. Now on the top, you have some of the options. What is this called? We will discuss in a bit. And some cells or the grid lines, what you see here, the rectangular boxes, this are called something. We will very soon get there. Now by default, when you open Excel for the first time, this will show up something as book 1. I'm been repeatedly using, that's why the numbers increased to 16, but otherwise you will get to see something called book 1. And here at the bottom, you get to see something called as sheet 1. Now, why don't you start with a word? Now we will finish Excel first, Samira. There's a question here that why don't we start with the word? We are going to start with Excel first. Yes, word will come a little later, and then the presentation part, which is PPT, will come into the picture. Right, so let's start with understanding what a workbook is, or what kind of workbooks do we get to see. Now, first of all, why a workbook? Obviously, if you want to write something, the students available here or any person available here knows what a book means, right? What is a book? Book is something used to document things, which can happen like somebody has a habit of writing diaries, somebody has a habit of writing stories, somebody has a habit of uh, scripting his own way of language, or you can call songs, etc., etc. Now, in a day-to-day transactional life, especially corporates or any store or any kind of transaction, we prefer to write things which happen on a day basis, right? Today, at this hour, at this minute, something happened. Now, is there a way that you can organize it? Because if you talk about a notepad, right, this is a very basic application, everybody is aware of it. So if you want to write something, today I bought 10 apples which cost 100 rupees. Tomorrow you buy something else, and day after tomorrow you buy something else. After that. Now, can you analyze and tell how many apples at each day did you bring? Can you tell what was the cost on that date? What is the sum of amount that you spent on a particular date? It is not possible. Why? Because this data is not in neat format. To be very precise, this is not in tabular format, right? It is not in tabular or a table format, right? So to maintain data in a table format, the first application that comes into anybody's mind is an Excel, right? Microsoft Excel. Now there are various other competitive applications which are available in the market. To name one which is available like free of cost to everybody who has a Google account, called Google Sheets. So let us not talk about it. I'm sure that is available in the other fully enrolled courses where we talk about Google Sheets as well. Let's get back and learn what is Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is a place where you can maintain your data in a tabular format. That's the first step, right? That's the first step. Now, what you can do about that data is something that we need to explore and understand. So going back to the basic, opening a workbook. Now, if you are on your system, if you open it, you get to see a name called book one and something called as sheet one. Now, by default, when you open the Excel sheet, these are saved or opened in a form or as an extension called .xlsx, right? These are saved something called as ExcelSX. Now I'm quickly saving this for you. Let's say that today is 7th of November 2022, and I click on save. Now let me quickly go back and say desktop, and here is the file that I saved just now. Now if you observe, the name says Microsoft Excel worksheet, right? Which means that the extension of this would be something called as .xlsx. Should I really need to know why is this required? Is it really relevant to me? Yes, it is absolutely relevant. So there are 4 type of commonly used worksheets that you may come into contact with. What is that? One is that the default application is known as ExcelSX. The first sheet is already available on in front of you. Now there are days when we need to have more than one worksheet. This is called as workbook, which is a combination of multiple worksheets. Now, what is a sheet? Sheet is a combination of multiple cells. What is a cell? Cell is this. We'll talk about what is a cell. So let's cover up what is a workbook. Workbook is something that I have just opened and renamed it. I can add multiple sheets. I'm just clicking on this plus icon to add sheets. Now let me give you a quick tip. How do you add a worksheet very easily? Very easily. All you need to do would be is press Shift F11. I'm opening this for your convenience. I hope this is also visible to you. Now I press Shift F11. Just observe this part. What happens? Right? So I again say Shift F11. I add another sheet. So this can be incremented up till sheet 256, which nobody uses because obviously the file size will increase. But what you need to remember is an Excel workbook is a combination of multiple cells having multiple sheets. Now, I gave you a quick shortcut how to add a worksheet in a workbook, which is by using. Can somebody drop a text? How can I add a worksheet into a workbook? Anybody? Yeah. If you're using a laptop, then you need to use FN, otherwise it is Shift F11. FN is only when you need to toggle between your function keys, otherwise FN is not relevant. Great, excellent response. Thank you so much for that. Now let's move on and try to understand what are the other type of workbooks. So we spoke about what is a .xlsx extension. What is an XLSX extension? Is the latest one which comes along with your Office 365. That's the recent version of Microsoft Excel. Now this can have up to 256 worksheets. This has got some amount of these rectangle region. Now what are these actually called as? Now let's go a step back and try to understand what this is. Now each rectangle here is called as a cell, right? A human body is also having a lot of cells, right, which are also known as tissues. Somebody, a science student, can tell us. Very similarly, a workbook has got some number of cells. Now to be very precise, what is a cell? How do we identify it? Cell is a combination, or it's an intersection between a row and a column. Now wherever they meet, right? So for example, this is meeting at F8. The columns are always identified as alphabets and rows are identified as numbers. So wherever these meet are called as cell, right? To be very specific, the technical term or the understandable explanation of a cell is it's an intersection between a column and a row. Right? What is a cell? Cell is an intersection of a column and a row. What is a column? Column is anything that you see as an alphabet. Now you see that H, which is selecting all the numbers, A is selecting all the numbers. These are known as columns. Now column can be single, column can be multiple. I'm holding shift on my keyboard and moving my right arrow key. So I have selected 9 columns. You can see the number here. So I've selected 10, 11, 12, 13 columns. Similarly, I can select number of rows, which is shift space. I have given 3 shortcuts so far. I'm not very sure how many have made a note of it. Can somebody drop a text? Will be great. Now, how do I select a row? I selected by pressing shift space. So I've selected all the cells coming in row number 5, right? Now if you want to keep moving to the bottom, I press shift down arrow key on my keyboard and keep going. You can see the number is increasing. I have selected 10 rows, 9 rows, 8 rows, 7 rows, etc. Now a cell is an intersection between a column and a row. Column is anything which has an alphabet, that is the complete alphabet, C to C. Row is the complete number by itself. There is a way we can change these alphabets to numbers by itself. Thanks for that. Right, so there is a way where you can change these alphabets also into number, which is available in the file menu. Otherwise, so an XLSX worksheet has got about 1 million rows. You get to see the last row number, which is about 10 lakh, right? These are the number of rows available. And in terms of column, we have got, let's do a very quick way how to count the number of columns. So we have got about 16,384 columns. So it starts from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Z, and then AA, and then BB, and then X, and so on. It goes on till XFD, which is equal to about 16,000 columns. How many rows do we have? We have about 10 lakh rows. How do we count the columns? Let's do it this way. Count blank, selecting complete column. So we have got about 10 lakh rows. Now, how many cells do we have? Can somebody quickly drop a text? If you're good at mathematics, it shouldn't be difficult for you. Cell is an intersection of a row and a column. Now I have rows, I have columns. Can somebody drop a text and tell me how many cells, or how do I calculate how many cells does one worksheet has, right? So we're not talking about workbook, we're talking about worksheet. Any suggestion? Wow, Giri seems to be really fast, but I need to know how to calculate. Somebody has posted a message that there are about 17179869184 cells. But my question is, I have two numbers, how do I calculate it? Can somebody suggest? 1064 are the number of rows, right? 1048 are rows, not 1068. How to calculate the total amount of cells? Yeah, good. Somebody just answered the question on Zoom. It is multiplication of columns into rows, which is about 17 billion cells. One worksheet can have up to 17 billion cells. And then you can multiply it up to how many ever sheets you want. So that's the size of Excel, that you can add as much as data as you want, provided the system does not crash, right? So that is a little bit about ExcelSX. Now, one of the other commonly found workbook type, or the file type that you may get to see, is called as .csv. Now, what is a CSV? CSV stands for comma separated values. Now, these are very easily recognizable by Excel than any other application. My voice is not clear. Anybody facing issue with my voice? Tell us. No, it's clear. It's clear. Okay, great. I think you need to check your other phone. Maybe I missed somebody's text. Give me 1 minute. Could you please tell us how to calculate rows and columns? Yeah, I will answer your question. Just give me 1 minute. Whoever raised the question, not able to hear, audio is not on sync. That is because, Manoj, you are referring video on Zoom or something like that, but others do not have any issue. If you are referring to YouTube for your screen, then it could be an issue because YouTube has a lag. Somebody's facing a concern that my video is not in sync with audio. If you are referring to applications, which is Zoom and YouTube, Zoom to listen to voice and YouTube for video, then it will be a problem. So you need to decide which one of them, not both of them. Okay, so somebody has asked a question, how to find the number of rows, how to find number of columns. Just stay with me. I will tell you how to calculate, but otherwise, if you are really in a hurry, you can refer this. I will leave this here itself. Anyway, so let's get back to the topic. What is a CSV? CSV is means comma separated values. Now, what is this? Why do we need a CSV? Now, CSV file is largely read or written by machines. Like when you want to send data from your local machine and upload it to a server, right? To a server which can reuse your data and let's say publish it to other users externally, then it cannot read an Excel sheet. These are meant that it goes in a single row, right? So what happens is your data is divided into multiple commas, and then within that each comma your data is encapsulated. Now, for you to converse with the system to either receive data or to send data to machines, people use a CSV format. Why? It does not have a limitation of whatever we saw here, right? 10485676. Now it does not have a row limitation, so it can be as big as it can go, provided whichever system you're uploading has the capacity to read or whichever application you are using has the capacity to read. Now, between which most of the systems send you data in CSV. Now, why should you know it is as a cautionary message we want to pass out. CSV is not typically an Excel file at all. Though it opens as an Excel, you can view everything as cells, just like the one which you can see here. But it is not necessary that it should have same amount of information. Now, let me give you a quick demo. I have some sample data available here. Just give me one quick minute here. Here you go. Right, so you can see I have opened a new workbook by name book 17. I have some IDs here, which are ranging from row number 1. I am holding control on my keyboard and pressing down arrow key. So there are some 800 rows, okay? And I am currently in sheet 1. So let's say I want to create another workbook, another worksheet, and make it like 1600, right? I have repeated the same information 2 times. I am creating one more sheet, repeated the same information once again. I'm creating one more sheet and creating the same information again. So now I have 4 different sheets. So how to calculate amount of rows and columns? Yeah, its row is into columns, Amol. I'll get back to you on that. Give me 1 minute. So we have 4 sheets here, right? Now let me quickly save this as a ExcelSX, right? You get to see this Excel workbook. So I will say sample Excel workbook, and I saved. Now I will close this, open the same file again from my desktop. This PC. I have sample Excel workbook and I click open. So I can see all the 4 sheets intact, having same number of rows the way I had saved. Now let's try to save the same workbook as a CSV, right? How do we do it? I will click on this, change it to comma delimited, right? CSV stands for comma separated values, but when you want to save the type of CSV, you choose it as comma delimited. There are other options also like UTF-8 and all. These are system specific or application specific if the question is asked. Now let me save this as sample CSV. Now I need your attention here. I am currently on sheet 1. My data is split between 4 sheets and I'm clicking on save. There is a pop-up, if you read it carefully, it tells only active sheet will be saved. Are you sure? Because this workbook does not support multiple sheets. If you are in a hurry and if you say, okay, you are responsible for it, I'm closing it. I will reopen it for your reference. The file type that I saved was, can somebody help me figure out where the file go? It's on my desktop. I am opening the file by double clicking it. The file name is same, but you can see all the other worksheets are gone. Now, why did we tell you about it is, let's say you received this file, you started working on it, and you saved it. Next time when you open it, it will lose all the working that you have done. Even if you have written a formula, it will get converted to a value. What a formula is, we will talk about it. But any kind of formatting, coloring that you have done, all of it will be lost. So be careful with the CSV saving, or if you're extracting data as a CSV file, first thing you do would be is save the file as. The command to save the file as, the shorter way to do it is F12. Will open a dialog box like this. Change the file type to Excel workbook, and then start working on it. So if you get CSV files from somewhere, if you want to work with it, make a copy of it, convert the format from a CSV to Excel workbook. Right, so that is the second workbook type, which is called as a CSV. Let's move to the next one, which is called as ExcelSB. What does ExcelSB stands for? ExcelSB is a very simple XLS but binary. Now I'm pretty sure everybody is aware what is file compressing, zip folder or zipping files into one so that the file size can get reduced. Now very similarly, we have a feature within Excel where you don't need an external tool to compress the size of it. Instead, just save the file as XLSB. Your sheets formatting will remain as is, but when you save it, the file size will get shrinked. That's the beauty of XLSB. There is no additional benefit of it except to shortening the size or reducing the size of the workbook itself. Give me 1 minute. There are two questions on my chat box. I will address them. For freshers, how are newly joined computer science with artificial intelligence, machine learning, which laptop is good for us, and uh, RAM should be better, dear. Uh, I think you need to explore this yourself. I have in CSV file, there was an option to add a sheet in that function. Okay, so there is a very good question that, you know what, when I open the CSV sheet, right? This is a CSV sheet. I can see that I am able to add a worksheet. Why is it available? Yeah, because it is given for you to read. It is only reading information, right? During read, you may want to add multiple sheets. You want to work, but when you close it the way it is, the system will tell you, no, you can't save multiple sheets in this format. Just change it, right? Excel as a function is only reading this data for you. But if you're telling save this as is, it will not. It will throw a message telling, no, I can't do it because this is not a Excel worksheet. Instead, this is a CSV. So you need to be careful with it. Let's get back to the topic. We're talking about XLSB. B stands for binary. Binary is the very reason is that it converts your data into binaries to compress the size of Excel sheet. So tomorrow, if you get to work with a bulk sheet where a lot of charts are there and a lot of data is available in it. Now, if you want to send it across to a huge distribution mailing list, you don't really want to spend a lot of time in and waiting for that mail to get uploaded as an attachment in it. What you do is you try to shrink the size of it by choosing a format called XLSB so that it can reduce the file size. That's the only benefit. Rest of all the features and functionalities after you open will remain just like a XLSX workbook. No difference in it, right? XLSB is largely used only to shrink the file size. Let's talk about the fourth one, which is called XLSM. Now, what does this M stand for? M stands for macro. Now, this book will be counted or called as a macro enabled workbook. Now, what are macros? We have a in detailed topic available in the courses. We will definitely take you through some basics of what macros are. Let me tell you in brief or in a very short note, what does macro do? Now there is a salesperson or a sales manager. He has got about 10 people who do, let's say, shop sales. So they have 10 of their own 10 Excel sheets. Every day they complete their task. They send the data to Nadeem. Hey Nadeem, these are the people I met today, and I have 10 different type of sheets. I will get back to you on. Somebody has raised a question telling what is ExcelSB. Can you repeat again? I will definitely do it. Let me quickly move to ExcelSM. ExcelSM is, I mean, we are talking about a situation. I mean, keep yourself that you are a sales manager and about 10 people report to you. Okay, let's say I work for Bisleri or you work for Bisleri, and there are 10 salesperson who are responsible to go to every shop, collect their order information and give it to you. Now, what can it happen? That it will have a store name, then quantity they want, and the salesperson name. Let's keep it this way, that this is how the file would look like. These are the information or data points that somebody will give it to you. Now, what will happen is that one person will have one workbook like this, the other person will have one more, and similarly for 10 different people. Now, it is difficult for you to open all the 10 of them and paste one below the other, so that you can summarize, right? End of the day, you can tell that, you know what, today 10 people have got these many orders from each store. This is the quantity. Now it is difficult for you to explain, or it is difficult or time consuming for you to sit and analyze one after the other sheet, copy paste. There it is more error prone. Now what will happen is that you may have pasted something, you will repaste it again, or you may miss an Excel sheet itself. Now to remove or reduce the pain of copy paste, what ExcelSM does it, you can tell the system that every day morning I will click a button, pick up all the 10 sheets in some folder, merge all of them one below the other. Now that's the job of ExcelSM, where you can literally do coding and tell the system that open one file, copy paste, close this one, go back, open the next file, copy paste below the one which you have pasted, close this one, and the process goes on. These are called as loops. We will talk about it in the coming sessions. Now, why should somebody use it? Very simple reason, that it reduces your effort to, it increases the accuracy of it, right? As a human, you tend to make mistake. But if you go back to macros, you tell the system that 10 people will put their data in this folder. All you need to do is consolidate them for me. So you click a button and then you can merge. So there are other features in Excel also which reduces this task, which is called as Power Query, which can merge multiple cells. All that is part of it. But otherwise, going back to olden days as an example, this is the core reason why an ExcelSM exists in Excel book. Now these workbooks contains special feature where a code can run, right? So this can do a lot of stuff, like open a web page on your Excel sheet itself, or get data from a web page to your Excel sheet, right? So there are a lot of other benefits of what a ExcelSM is. So quickly going back and doing a recap, we spoke about what a workbook is, what a worksheet is, what a column is, what a row is, what is a cell, what are the different type of workbooks. Now there are two questions. Let me pick one by one. Somebody told why is CSV preferred, right? Let me read the question. Why should we use a CSV extension when there are, what are the advantages? Now, CSV is not meant for working. It is only used to exchange data. Let's say if you want to upload bulk data to a machine, to a system where it can read out a lot of information, then it will accept a CSV file. If you want to download data from an SQL server or any other form, then it will only send you a plain CSV file where your data is divided or split between columns. CSVs are better read in Excel, that's all. But otherwise, there is no other feature or benefit of CSV. It is only a communicating file between system to another system, that's all. But if you want to really make use of charts, formulas, etc., you need to reside or stay alone with ExcelSX. That's the benefit or limitation of CSV. Now we will take, okay, give me 1 minute, I skipped the next question, please bear with me. The chat window is pretty big, so yes, definitely these certificates. So there's a question here on my window, tells will certificates help you get jobs? Yeah, obviously any company you tell that you have already attended or been part of Excel course or these kind of courses, they will definitely value it. There was one more question. Acha. So somebody asked this question, what was an XLSB? I'm sorry if I'm missing the YouTube chat because I'm not able to track it at all. There's so many messages coming in. So there is a question tells, what is an XLSB? XLSB means Excel binary. It only compresses the data. Right now, the benefit of it is it can shrink the file size. Now, for you to give an example, if you have any large Excel sheet already available, or just use take help of dear Google, download any large Excel SX sheet, try to save it as XLSB and compare both the files. You will get a real-time explanation of why you should prefer an XLSB. The file formatting will remain as is, only the file size will get shrinked. For certificates and all that, you may have to write it to the concern. They will be able to explain, tell you how to get the course and all that. Attendance bit, I'm little not sure. You got to give me some time. At the end of this class, I'll be able to confirm it to you, who and how will they track your attendance. So just stay with me, I will let you know. So there is a question from Redmi. I have no clue who it is. I'm not supposed to take names any which ways. What does count blank open close do? Count blank is very simple English. Count blank, count any range that I give, count the blanks within it. Right, so I am assuming that we have very limited people who are actually, I'm sorry for that, give me a minute. If there is any questions for whatever we have covered so far in the limited time, you can just post it on the chat box. Let me quickly take it through, take a look on the YouTube. Hindi mein baat karo na sir, please. I wish I could have done that, dear. A lot of people are from other states where Hindi is not really preferred, so I cannot do that. Sorry if I'm picking the question a little late. Others, please limit these questions so that we can keep it to the point, right? There was a very interesting question. Tells, is Excel dependent on RAM? Yes, if you are a person who deal with a lot of data, your RAM means a lot, matters a lot. The faster or the better the RAM you have, the better results would be. Okay, I think these comments are a little misleading, so I don't really want to. Okay, now let's say somebody has asked for a practical example of ExcelSM. I wish I could have done that, but I have the material for the commands. Okay, let's pick up this question called what is an ExcelSM. Right, I'm opening a new workbook. So let's say I wanted to know that every time somebody comes in, I want the system to add a start date and time, which would be something like this, right? The next customer comes in, it should again have start date and time. The next customer comes in, I need to have start date and time. Now, it is not that very easy for somebody to punch in exactly. So what do we do is we can make use of macro that you only have to do is click a button, it'll add date time. You click a button, it'll add date time. You click a button, it'll add date time. Now, how to do it, if I do it, may not be relevant to others, but that's the only reason why we prefer to use Excel. I mean, that is the only Excel type, the file type which can accommodate macro functions. XLSB example. The example of XLSB is like large file size, which are like 100 MB. Now, if you want to shrink it to like 70 MB, you don't have to really use a zip folder. Instead, just save the file as XLSB. That's the standard way of understanding it here. So for now, I will close this. No problem, dear. Give me a quick minute. I need to restart my Excel because I don't see the screen actually getting refreshed by itself. I will close all the files and then save as. Please bear with me. I'm only closing the worksheets which are not relevant. There are too many of them which are open. I see some of the charts coming in. Can you repeat XLSM again? Yeah, the screen has actually been passed for some time, so don't worry. I'm trying to close the unwanted workbooks. It's nothing to do with your connectivity at all. Right, let me open the file we were working on. It was 7 November. Great. Right, so as we spoke, let me take you through we spoke about how to add a worksheet within a workbook, and I also gave you a shortcut how to do it. But let us also know how to actually delete a worksheet. Now, somebody asked this question, thanks for it, but it was a part of the other session though. To delete a worksheet, either you can right click here and click on delete, or use a better way of it. Press Alt EL, it will just go away, right? You cannot delete the last worksheet because you need to have at least one worksheet. So you can't delete the last one. You can only delete anything which is over and above. So I'm trying to add as many sheets as possible, and I will delete all of them. How did I select multiple of them? That you need to explore. For now, I have deleted all of them. To delete them, I will show it on my screen. First, let me click my Excel, Alt E L. It's gone, right? So delete a sheet, use the key Alt E L. You can simply delete it. But if you are not good at shortcuts, then Mac, dear, you um, stick to this concept of right click and delete, or go to home. In format you have delete, right? That's the way how you can delete your sheets in a MacBook. I'm not that great at shortcuts for MacBook. I'm really sorry. I'm used to Excel for about a decade now, so can't help with the shortcuts. Since once again say delete shortcut, yeah, Alt EL is the shortcut to delete the worksheet. Let's respect others' time also. So we spoke about what is a cell, what is a row, what is a column. Now let's step into a little next phase of understanding why should somebody be interested in cells, rows, and columns, or what all can we do. Now, a particular person can have data into different forms. Like you can say that name, age, date of birth, address, occupation. So let's say name was okay. Now I put name here. I need to put age here, which I say is 40. Let's say the age of this person is 1st of January 1980 or 82, right? And then address is number 4242 8th cross, some area, some city, some colony, some state, India. 100, right? Occupation is, I know it's funny, but it's just random data. Now I have some data. I want to cover up few things about this. Now, before I move to whatever is written here, let me tell you few important things that you need to know. So we spoke about this sheet, which looked like a white paper having a lot of rectangle boxes, which are known as cells. Cell is an intersection between a column and a row. Shiva, I think you need to refer the recordings in LMS. I have repeated ExcelSM a number of times. I recommend doing it. Let's appreciate others' time as well. I would have definitely done it if we had no restrictions on time. Now, folks, for others, let's get back. Now, I will quickly take you through on some of the views which have their own dedicated names, right? So for example, if there is a car, you tell that which part is the rear, which part is the front one, right? Which is the top, which one is the base, right? Now, similarly, a lot of stuff can be defined, and each one of it has got its own phases. Some like north, east, west, south, central, etc., etc. Now, the view what you get to see or you are currently seeing, by the look of it, anybody can tell it is in Excel. Now, each of it destination has got its own explanation, right? Now, the names that you get to see here, this region is called as ribbon, right? Ribbon. Generally, we used to tie ponies with ribbon, right? Or when you do an inauguration to a new place, we do a ribbon cutting or ribbon ceremony, right? That is the easy way how you can remember what this area is called as. It is called as ribbon. I'll give you a quick tip. Now, generally it covers your worksheet. Instead of showing from row number 1 to 18, you can make it a little better. Just double click on this home. This will go up, or user control. What's wrong with you? Right. Now I pressed Control F1. Whatever the ribbon was, that is compressed now. Instead of seeing row 18, now I can see row number 23. And the page looks little clean, right? If you want to get it back, all you need to do is double click on that, any of the menu. This menu bar here in Excel is called as ribbon. Now, if you want to shrink it, it's a tip. Make use of it if you want. If not, you can. So that's the first attribute of your worksheet called as a ribbon, right? Now there are a lot of which part to repeat, Abhay, I don't know. Yes, you can definitely watch the session again on your account. Just log into your portal with the username and password that you may have received. You should be able to watch this. There's a question: can I watch this session again? Yes, it is available on the ExcelR portal, the one which you have got demo. You can log in, click on the session that you have enrolled. You'll be able to listen to the recorded session again and watch the video as well. All right. So there's a question somebody's telling, please repeat again. Which part do you want me to repeat? I don't know if you can post that. It'll be helpful. I can definitely repeat it for you. Now, getting back to the situation, that what is the first section of Excel? This top area is called as a ribbon, right? Now, I give you a tip how to make it larger and smaller. Either you can double click on it, use a Control F1 to shrink the size of it. Now, little below to it, to this left area, this is called as name box. You can see something below the edit marker. I have some name written as name box. Now, what does this name box do? He's as good as a postman. You tell him that, or you can say that he's a navigator. You tell him that, you know what, I am currently in B5. You see that this is highlighted and B5 is highlighted. He's reading that address. Not only that, he can read the address. He tells you which cell you are in. Now, this particularly in Excel, or the terminology of Excel is called as active cell, right? The cell which I am currently in is called as active cell, and name box represents the active cell by default. By default, it will show which cell is that you are in. Now, if you write something as a name, it is getting stored under the address called column B, row number 5, right? So we spoke what is a ribbon. Ribbon is a place where entire menu of Excel is stored. Name box is the place where you can see where your active cell is. That is the one benefit. The other one is you can tell this name box if you want to travel somewhere. So let's say I am currently in O9. I need to go to A1. A1 is the place where I have name. Okay, let's do it this way, that I need to write the next name. Next name should come in A3. If you want to do that, I can do is take my cursor and click here. But then if the data is like huge, I don't really want to do it. What do? Would be is say go to A3, column A, row number 3. Just hit enter on your keyboard. You can see the active cell becomes A3, right? Two reasons why you need to know name box. Name box tells you what is your active cell. It can also work as a courier boy and tell him that, you know what, if you're currently in F6, go to A1, give enter, it will change its range and come to the place where you are, where you actually want to go. How to shrink the size of A1? A1. So you want to reduce the size of A1. If this is the requirement, I'm not very sure what is shrinking the size of A1. Okay, so now there is some data. Let's complete the attributes of it. So first one was ribbon. This is called name box. This is called as bar, formula bar. Now I used bar for your easy reference so that you can remember them. Formula bar is a place which gives you a quick read of what is inside a cell, right? Now I can see that name is written here. Sometimes there could be a formula, there could be a function that can be easily read from formula bar. You can increase the size of this, decrease the size of this by clicking here. You can readjust it to whatever you want by manually dragging and drop. How to bring this cursor is just manually come till here till you get that 70% of your arrow there. Then you will be able to adjust it. There's a shortcut for it. We'll talk about it a little later. Now, why do you want to increase this, decrease this? I will quickly tell you in a few. Right, so now I see that, you know, there is some amount of information available on my screen, but then this is not readable, right? Now there is something written in D2, but I don't know what is written in D2 until I click here. Then I can read the numbers on formula bar, right? I don't want that to happen. How can you adjust it? We will have to take help of the ribbon. Under ribbon, what option? I will talk about it a little later. So first section is the ribbon, then is the name box, then is the formula bar, then is the worksheet. To my left, you have something called as ready, accessibility. All these views can be slightly different on your screen. This is also known as status bar, right? This function or this area is also known as status bar. Now how is this helpful? Now a lot of information can be found here. Let's say I put some random numbers here. If I simply highlight this, I'm not doing anything extra. I've only highlighted. How did I highlight it? I double click on it and I dragged my mouse, one way of it. Or the other way of it is select it, click on shift, and then keep moving your arrow keys. This is the problem with this, right? I hold shift and I keep pressing down arrow key. So it has selected all of it. Now, if you observe my status bar to the right, you get to see that it has got by default some amount of information. What all has it done? It is telling me what is the average, how many items are there in my selection, what is the smallest number in it, what is the biggest number in it, and what is the total in it. I have not done anything extraordinary. Now this can be increased to even more, right? What all can it be? It can have some more information like numerical count, right? So for now I have enabled all of it. In yours maybe you can see only some, but I have kept average, minimum, maximum. But if you want to enable it, just right click here, do whatever you want to. I mean, just enable, disable all of them, right? So the zoom slider and all that is available here. I have kept it visible. If you want, you can disable, this bottom area is called as status bar. This will tell you what is the status of your cell. Currently is in ready mode. What is ready mode? What is edit mode? We will talk about it in the coming sessions. But yes, the sections that you need to know would be is a ribbon, name box, formula bar, worksheet, sheet names, then status bar. Cool. So there's a link. I think it is expected for you to update your attendance on this. So I request you to please update them. There's a question, how to shrink the size of A1. Now, this is A1, but when you say shrink the size of it, you want to reduce the font size, increase it, decrease it from here, but I'm little not sure what the question is. Anyway, stay there, we'll get back to you. Right, so let's get back to the formula. The concept where we were. We wanted to ensure that, you know what, this range or this address or this data is readable to users. Readable to users. So first of all, this should not be like whatever it is available here. Instead, it should come like big one. Like you can see the column size or the cell size should come within this. So for example, I delete this. You can see that the data is going to E, F, G, H, J, but in reality, there is no data. You get to see here, there is no data at all. This data is only in D. Why? Is because the cell is overflowing. It is going from column D and it is overflowing to the next one. Now, if you want to get rid of it, you want to go to home. Under home, you will have to do is wrap text. Now, this thing is irritating me. Right. So here in alignment, you have something called as wrap text. See this ABC. If you do that, the data will be within the same column. This feature is called as wrap text. Now, if you are not good at remembering that, or I mean, it is easy because if you are a beginner to do it, go to home, click on wrap text, or you can use the shorter way of it, which is Alt H W. Does the same work again. Right, Alt H W will wrap the text, ensure that whatever data is overflowing to others will come within that. Now, if I want to ensure, so here the name is okay. I mean, it does not really require that it has to go there, but then I need to resize the column, resize this particular area so that the full name is visible in the same place. It should not be hidden behind. For shrinking the ribbon, control 1 is the shortcut. Achha, there's a question, how do we shrink the ribbon? How do you resize the ribbon? One way is you double click here. The other one is press control F1. If you're using a laptop, then it would be Fn and F1, which would be control Fn F1. Then you can shrink and de-shrink it. Let's go back and resize this. I don't want to wrap the text like I did here, right? How do I do the wrap text? I go to home, under alignment, I have wrap text. I can do it so that the entire data, whatever is written in D2 is available in single cell. If at all I want to see this Amar, Akbar or whatever is written behind, I can see it in the formula bar. Now, if I want to readjust this, how do we do it? You can double click here. You can simply take your cursor to the line, the arrow here. The arrows will be pointing one to the left, one to the right. Double click here or do selection, which is I want to select this area, resize it. This is the older version shortcut, which is Alt-O CA. Right? Otherwise, if you want to do it in the long way, go to home, under cells, say auto fit column width. It will adjust it and ensure that everything is available within the same size. You can do it for this also, right? So let's say I will remove the wrap, and I will do is do auto column width. What will happen is the cell will become big, and sometimes if the address is like a story, and if you want to write something, or let's ignore the column type as address, let's say if it is a story, then what will happen is the sheet will become like big, one single cell. Now it is better that you wrap the text and readjust the size, right? So for example, I'll say this one, wrap the text, and this looks much better, right? I can read the information within a single cell. My sheet also does not look that very ugly. There's a question for me. Please fill the attendance. Okay, it's not for me. Okay. I think my screen is visible, but right. So now, can somebody guess what is this 29952? It's quite difficult, right? Now, if I say this is nothing but a date, will you agree? It's the same information. That 29952 is actually 1st of January 1982, because Excel understands is the date system of 1st of January 1800. Oh, sorry, 1900, I believe. Yeah, 1st of January 1900. Whatever number that you type is actually this minus this is actually the date. So when you see a number written somewhere like this, which is a 5 characters or 5 digits, change the format of it. Now there are quick ways to do it, but I will show you the easiest way or the general one which people follow. The cell C2 has a number. I want to convert the format of it. For now, the data type is a number. I want it to be seen as a date. See that? It is 1st of January 1982. I will do a Control Z. If at all you are enthusiastic or really interested to do it in a shorter way, try doing it along with me. Simply hit Control Shift 3. You see that hash symbol here? It will change it to date, right? Date formats, if you want it, I mean, if somebody supplied you as numbers, right? So numbers would look something like this general format. You see that? For now, it is in general format. If you want to convert it to date, first and foremost thing is do the selection. How to select a column? Control space is the shortcut, or if you're good at using keyboard, take your cursor here, click on C, go to home under number, right? These are numbers. Click on the drop down, say please show me short date. So this will convert it into date. Otherwise, if you want to use a shortcut a keyboard, then uses Control Shift 3, right? So let me first highlight the column. It's already highlighted. I say Control Shift 3, right? All of this is changed in date, right? So we spoke about how to wrap the text. We spoke about how to adjust a column, how to look a proper number as a date. Give me 1 minute. Again, sir, how to drag what, dear? How can we see our attendance percentage? I can't answer that. Uh, there's a question as in how to drag. So I was little not sure what drag means. If you can specify which portion of drag is, if you're talking about dragging the formula bar, it is come to formula bar, take your cursor to nearly 70% of it, then you get to see the icon, sorry, the cursor getting changed to a double arrow. This thing is irritating. You can double click and just keep moving. How to convert it again back to number? That is a very good question. Alt-H-W is the shortcut to wrapper text. Somebody is asking a question, how to wrap text. I hit the sheet. Right, so this cell is not having text which is wrapped. How to wrap it is Alt-H-W. That's the shortcut. Now somebody told, you know what, this is a number, date. How do I convert it back to a number? Control Shift the backstroke key on your keyboard. I'll show you. The backstroke key is the first one after the escape. So here is the cell. Say Control Shift. This changes to number. Not relevant though, but yeah, good to know information. I will minimize this. Would the dashboard making be covered in this course? We will definitely touch base. There's a question here. Tells will we be covering dashboard preparation? To answer that, yeah, we will slightly kind of give gist of it, how to consolidate data. You can definitely make use of it. Right, so I will repeat the date conversion method again. So for now, there is a number available here. We want it to be shown in a proper format, which is date, month, year. One way of doing it, the long way, is go to home, under number, change and look for short date. Or you can put long date where month will be written like January. I can use short date. It will change it to this. One is that. Two is you can use your keyboard. First of all is do selection. Once you have done the selection, all you need to do would be is Control Shift 3. It will change it to date. Anyways, let's move to the next part of it. Can we get any job on this? I don't know if the question is relevant. Okay. Let's move a little closer to formatting it. Now, I know that every day I will have to do entry here, right? Somebody's first name will come tomorrow and then last name will come. His age would be something and then there could be some other age, right? So let's say it was 1st of January 1992 and there was some address. Now I have a problem, which is that, you know what, this and this, both of these look very similar, right? Let us try to tell the system that the first, or tell the user, the end user, whoever is reading the sheet, that, you know what, my first row has labels. Please make a note of it, or remember that whenever a column is defined, these are identified as labels. The primary column, the first column, is identified as labels. Sometimes rows are identified as labels. We will talk about it when, why, and how. But yes, labels means it explains what exactly is the explanation of it. So there's a question here. Somebody's asking, how many days will the session be? Excel exclusively, we will be doing 2 hours into 7 days. That's about it. Excel, and then the coming classes and all that, ExcelR team will explain you how and when it will be scheduled. Right. Okay. Now we are talking about making it slightly different. You know what? This is the data, and it can increase to whatever size it would be. And this is the primary column where each column has its own identification. So the column A actually means only names will come here. Column B, only age will come. Column C is date of birth. Column D is address. Now, how do we make it slightly different is you can give a different color of it, a different cell color, a different font color, all of it. Now, how do we do it? We take help of home. You have font. You can start with changing the font type, right? I want font to be different. What should be the size? Is it, you know the number, type it. If not, increase it, decrease it by clicking here. Now you want it to be bolden, click on B, Control B is the shortcut. You want it to be italics, Control I is the shortcut. You want to underline them, Control U is the shortcut, or you can click here. Or you want to create borders for it, right? You see that there are borders. This is differentiating that the first one is actually header, and the ones which are coming below is actual data. So now I can also color it so that it stands out differently from my actual data. All of it can be done within this small area, which is home, font. Then I have options to color the font as well. So I say that, you know what, the font should be something like this, white, black, whichever way you want to do it. I expect if you have Excel, I mean systems available in front of you, whatever version of Excel is there, these are very basic. It'll still be, it can still be worked upon. Right, just 1 minute, there's a question. Oh. 1 minute, please bear with me, few seconds. Somebody's posted a question and formula bar, but I don't know what is the worksheet workbook. I think we have covered a little ahead. The session is recorded. You may refer the recording, and if there are any questions tomorrow, again we can have a recap. Okay. What is the shortcut to resize the column? Alto CA is the shortcut. So somebody's raised a question, how do I resize a column? Let's say this is the column. How do I resize it? I can double click here or go to home, format, and say auto fit column width. All you can do is use the older one, which is first do the selection, press Alt O C A. It will auto adjust the column. Alto CA is the shortcut, but remember, selection is important. What is selection? This is how I select, right? To select a column, Control space. To select a row, Shift space. If you don't select, it won't work, or it will work only for the current cell. Okay, so we spoke about what is font that you can do, the segment font, where you can bold it, underline it, make it italic, apply borders, change the font type, increase the font size, decrease the font size. Now let's talk about alignment. What is alignment? By default, alphabets or numbers are left aligned, right? You can't ask a question, can you sum name plus age plus DOB plus address? It cannot tell you. But if you ask me to sum B2, B3, which is these two numbers, you can see all the mathematics that can be done with the help of numbers available here. Right, so let's get back to identify the data type. Primary aspect is text is always left aligned. Right is all, sorry, numbers are always right aligned. You see these two numbers here, they are aligned to the right. I have not done anything. You see that there is no left alignment, there is no right alignment. By default, numbers are aligned by itself, which is to the right. If you want, you can modify. So for now, I will highlight this text, which is left aligned, but you see that it is not clicked by default, though it tells that bottom aligned. Now, if I increase the size, you can see what is bottom alignment. the text is in the bottom. I can tell, please come in the middle by clicking here, or by clicking here, I can say, please go to top, right? So for now, I will leave it as middle aligned. I don't want it to be left aligned. So if this is A, this is the center part of it, it is left align. Now I have an option to right align. I have option to mid align. Now mid alignment would be click here, left align would be click here, right align will be click here. But by default, text is left align. You don't even have to touch this. By default, it is left align. If you want to modify it, make it beautiful, customize it as per your requirement, make use of the alignment section. Under alignment section, we already spoke about what is wrap text. This section will actually align your text going like to the counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, etc., etc. All this you can test it out. Right now, a quick tip: if you really want to do it with the help of keyboard, all you need to do is press Alt once on your keyboard. You get to see all the alphabets which point to that particular ribbon. So if you want to go to home sections, I press Alt and then H. It will come to H. I press H on my keyboard. The next menu items are further highlighted with the short keys, right? A, T, A, M, A, B, which is align text to left, middle, P, etc., etc. So all of it you can try it out, and if you want to really remember them, spend some more amount of time, you can by heart them. So this is about alignment. Now numbers can be read in different forms. It can be percentage. Sure. So numbers can be represented as dates. Numbers can be represented as decimals. So let's say I have age here and I want to say 40.22 and this guy is 40.09. Now these numbers have decimals to it. Now we have option either to show these decimals or to hide these decimals. How to increase them or decrease them? I will quickly highlight this here. Now here you have options. You can click on drop down and say number. It will adjust it to number. If you want to increase or decrease decimals, make use of these zeros, decrease them, whichever way is convenient to you. You can order them. Now, if you want to do it with the help of your keyboard to convert any number to a 2 decimal number, use Control-Shift-1, right? Control-Shift-1 will convert your text. This is the one. So you say Control-Shift-1. 1 will actually become your exclamation. So you click on that. This particular range, whatever you have selected, will become a number. Now, this one was also a number. I will try doing the same. Just observe that the numbers will have 2 decimals with a comma because I have added a by default the separator is for thousands. Great. Now we don't want it to be in numbers, we want it in date. So I will change it to date, Control-Shift-3. Right, so this is about number. You have number of options. Let's say if I want it to be in currency, I can do that. Right, see that rupee symbol came in, but in reality, if you read the cell text, there is no that rupee symbol isn't available. But for a reader, he can see that it is rupees 40 or 40 rupees or 30 rupees, whatever. But in reality, the address bar tells the value inside the cell is 30.09. But what the viewer can see would be is only the formatting. So this is all about formatting, which you can play around and display the data the way you want to. Just press Alt when there's a question. What is the key to show shortcuts? No, there is no. So if you want to access the ribbon from your keyboard, it is kind of shortcuts. All you need to do would be press Alt on your keyboard, alternate Alt, right? Press Alt on your keyboard, which is on the left. Your menu will be popped up into alphabets. You type that alphabet, you will go there. So for example, I'm pressing 9, I will go to insert section. I want to come back, I give escape, it will go one step back. I press P, it goes to page layout. I give escape, I come back. I want to go back to home, I'm pressing H. Let me press it from the keyboard itself so that it's easy for you. So Alt, right? So that's how the tab gets activated. Okay, now this is all about how to identify or change the number from the ribbon. But is there a way that I can change the number, the alignment, everything by not going to the ribbon? Yes, it is possible. All you need to do is get the formatting dialog box on the screen. How to get the formatting dialog box is either you can click on this, you get the formatting dialog on the screen, right? Any of these small arrow keys will take you to the same dialog. Only thing is that whatever sections you get to see here are sub added to its respective column, right? So you can either click on the arrow pointing here on each of it, or press Control 1 on your keyboard. You get the same dialog box, right? Right. So if you want to, let's say, change this to a number, how would you do is highlight this, come to number, change it here, right? Otherwise, press Control 1. You say, I have a number and should have 2 decimals. Use separators after thousands. Check it. If you don't want commas after thousand, uncheck it. And I click OK. You get to see the number is modified. So all and everything that you want to do with the text, do with the alignment, which we just saw, do with the font, which is increasing the size, decreasing the size, changing the font color, etc., is available here. Border, which we saw about alignment, bordering in the font section, is available here. Fill of color, the cell, should it have a color or not, is available here. Protection is all about can other users be able to edit the password, or edit the cell or not. So all of these information can be. Name column is mandatory to write. How to customize name column is mandatory to write. Question is a little not clear, dear. How to customize name column? Is it mandatory to write? Is it mandatory to write? No, it is not. Customizing a name column, it depends on what kind of data you are managing. So I really could not get your questions. You will have to tell me. So there's a question here that, you know what, there is a rupee symbol here. I want to get rid of it. I don't want to see the rupee symbol. All you need to understand is currently it is in accounting format. You need to change the format from accounting to number. So this might be a use case for others. I'm repeating for everybody's benefit. My text has a rupee symbol. I don't want it to be in rupee symbol. I want to get rid of it. You see the text, the formula bar does not have the rupee symbol, but the view of it has a rupee symbol. How to get rid of it? One is that you go to accounting, from number section, change it to number. It is gone. Or press Control 1, you get the number dialog box. Here it is currently accounting, change it to number. Click OK. The rupee symbol is gone. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so to use format cells, the shorter one would be is press Control 1. That will open the format dialog box. There's a question here, then how to open format dialog box without pressing the keys on the menu bar, which is on the ribbon. Control 1. How to do ribbon? There's a question telling how to do ribbon. I'm little This is mandatory to write name. No, it is not mandatory to write names at all. Writing name, how can we customize stating that? No, it is not mandatory to write name. You're most welcome. Right, so I have some more topics to cover up, which I could not because initially a lot of stuff went on to other stuff. I think for now it is good to go because it's already 9. A lot of people may have spent a lot of time already and exhausted, so I don't want to stress more. Let us get back tomorrow and discuss about operators in Excel. We'll talk about syntax or arguments that are required when writing functions. So tomorrow, until tomorrow, I have given some basic gist of how to capture data, how to color cells, how to write data into cells, how to format numbers, how to align cells, columns, etc., etc. I recommend you practice it because the retention is higher, or you try to remember it more if you try it yourself. So make this as a habit. I'm sure there's a long corporate career coming your way. Make use of this time and utilize it by practicing it. Please don't be hesitant. I wish I could have continued earlier, but 9 o'clock is the time, so I will have to stop it here. In the end, laptop is better. Which laptop is better? I wish I could have answered. I think you should go for a 64-bit with a 16 GB RAM, dear. The rest you can figure out about your need. And if you want to really work with large files, then this one is good. Okay, that's it from me, guys. I see a lot of people have already said goodbye. So I think we have many such fun-filled sessions coming our way. I mean, I wish this was a two-way dialogue. I could have asked a lot of questions and then expected answers from you guys. Somebody asked a question, where are you from? I'm from Bangalore. Yeah, many new things that are coming your way to learn. I'm just requesting you guys to stick to the session plan, log in by 7, be it Zoom or by YouTube. I'm sure you will enjoy the session. A lot of learnings coming your way. Cooperate and be available on time. Right, so that's it from me. If there are any so-called questions that you have the email ID available. Make use of it. Drop a text. They should be able to respond back to you. Right, so that's it from me. You have a lovely evening, and expect you all to be available tomorrow 7 sharp. Right, good night to all of you. Thanks for joining.
Amar,
Yes, Dirnath.
can I wind up the session or are you telling something?
Yeah,
No,
in
nothing.
fact, I was about to. Anyway, so if we are done, can we like?
Yeah, we'll wind up now.
Okay.
Thanks so much, folks. You have a lovely evening. Thanks, Amar.
Yeah, welcome, sir. We'll meet on tomorrow.
Thanks, I'm leaving. Okay. Hey.
No, you can wind up.
Okay, Amar.
Yeah, bye.